Okay, so chapter 2 is the sales process. So what does this entail? Well, when we have sales and we incur sales, normally who are we selling this to?
Customers.
Our customers. Good job. So we're going to be learning on how to track our company sales by obviously setting up customers. Okay, so again, we're going to be setting up customers. And then here again, we have job costing again. Now again, job costing is tailored towards customers. However, we don't touch too much upon it in chapter 2. It's actually primarily focused more in chapter 9 when we deal with time and billing, okay? And we'll take a look about that. So we'll skip that little small section there, but it does come up again in chapter 9. Other things that we're going to be looking at is going to be recording sales. There are 2 different ways to record sales, okay? We're going to be looking at when someone owes us, so accounts receivable. And then we're going to be looking at when someone gives us money at the time of the transaction, which we call a sales. Okay, no, but okay. We'll be looking at those 2 different ways when we do need to bill somebody. So we will be setting up invoices, and then we're going to have a sales receipt. So the minute that we receive money, we go ahead and do a receipt for them.
And invoices.
Yeah, invoices and receipts are 2 separate things. Invoices is when people owe you. Sales receipt is when you get cash the day of. Okay, so we'll go over those 2 examples. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to also review how to receive payments and what happens when we do receive payments. And this is where it's going to, we're going to be introducing to the bank deposit. Okay, and then lastly, after we've done that, then we're going to introduce you to the income tracker. Now, what I do first is instead of that, I'm going to introduce the income tracker as one of the first things just because it is, again, the best way to keep track of your sales. All right. So in this one, we won't learn about running reports because that's going to be chapter 3, right? This is only the first half of chapter 2. And again, the first chapter dealing with customers, okay? And again, because we got to take a look at chapter 4, which allowed us to introduce to us how to create a vendor. What do we need to create the vendor for? And that's going to apply to this same exact concept here. All right. But how we did look at it is, well, why are we selling items if we can't make purchases of inventory first, which we'll talk about later. Okay. So the first thing is going to be tracking company sales. If you look at this little not this graphic depiction, but it does kind of tell you where to go really. And I'll show you when we're in QuickBooks. But if you focus on page 31, it is going to tell you the difference between creating estimates and then creating a sales order, and then obviously the 2 important things that I talked about was what's the difference between when recording a sale, like what's the difference between sending an invoice out and actually sending a sales receipt. I'm sorry, I have hiccups. Okay, so again, after we do that, then we receive our payment, and when we receive a payment, then we move on to our deposit. So all of this right here is a graphic organization, right, in paper when by pulling up QuickBooks, right, our main focus is this middle section right here, okay? Now, again, estimates are quotes. So if people call you for a quote, then yes, and they approve it, then you can go ahead and transfer it over. But most oftentimes, you won't really need an estimate unless you are in the sales representative where you're being asked to get a quote for your services. So that's why we have it on. Second thing we're going to be noticing is that we're going to be creating invoices or sales receipts, okay? So again, this is when we actually make a sale of our products and we are recording it. All right. Anything else that's underneath that, which is the statement charges, these statements, okay, those we'll learn in chapter 3. All right. And then next thing we got to do is we got to receive our payment. And when we receive our payment, then it goes straight to our deposits right here. Okay. So we're going to talk about all of those things. But first off, let's talk about the customer center. Okay. Let's create a customer first. So there are 3 ways you can get to the customer center. Can you tell me all 3?
Right here, the homepage.
You could click the customers on the homepage.
Right.
Good.
And you can go up to customers on the menu bar.
Let me see, where is customers?
Right
Right here.
to-
Got it.
Yeah.
Customer center. Good.
Customer center. And the third, let me see, what was the third?
The icon.
Correct. If we go to the icon bar, it will take you directly to the customer center. So where is
Yes.
my customers? Here. Perfect.
Uh-huh.
If I click my customer center, well, look, what do you know? It looks identical, if not identical, to my vendor center. I have my list of all my customers here. They're in alphabetical order, and these are the balances that each customer owes. Now, if you want to look for a specific person, you can look up for a specific person. But I'm gonna highlight something that your guys it's gonna make you guys laugh. Okay. So where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Does he not exist? Oh, he does, right here. And look at that. He owes us $1,100. Yep, Mr. Bob Mason. Okay. So this is where I get him to do for Coffee Cafe.
Yeah.
Okay. Now again, same thing. Right here, you're gonna get a quick synopsis of what each customer form in like details as far as their address, their name, are they the store owner, whatever they are, okay, or I mean not store owner, but what kind of customer they are to you. And at the bottom of this right side, you have all the transactions that exist between you and this customer. Now again, right here, it shows that we have 0, but he owes us so much money. So we're going to come over here and we're going to toggle and we're going to say all. And when we do that, we get 2 invoices. So he's been owing us a lot of money since. Okay. Now, how do we create our new customer?
Let's see.
There should be like a new, where's the new?
A little, right, that says new customers right there, customers and jobs.
Okay, good. Sorry, wrong one. Customers and jobs, right? Drop down menu,
Right. And
new
then
customer,
There it is.
right? What's the second way?
The second way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was from, I think you go to the menu bar.
Menu bar. Under what? Customers?
Customers,
Do you see to add a new customer?
no,
No.
so that's wrong.
So would you go right to rather than going through one of the other ways to get in, would you go directly to the customers? Does that give you the
When
customer
you-
bar on the menu bar? Does that give you some more options?
What do you mean?
If you just click that one,
If I just click customers?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, is there...
No,
Is-
I don't see anything else it says. But something, I know I've seen something there that said add customers.
Okay. And how do you do that? It's close.
Okay, new transactions?
No, new transactions will not have anything there. Let me see, where's new transactions? New transactions.
What's that drop down from the active customers?
Active customers, where are you looking at, the top or the bottom?
On the, right under customers and jobs.
This?
Okay, there's a little drop down, yeah, no, below it. Okay, now there's an arrow, or is that just only for active customers?
This one?
Okay, never mind. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead and.
I don't. Oh, this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No,
no, it doesn't. Oh,
nothing
you know
new
what?
there.
Right on the menu bar, it says right there, new customers and jobs.
Where?
Right there, right above where you're going. Okay, if you just go up right to the, just below the menu bar, it says,
We already we this one?
did we already do that? Yeah, did we already
Yes,
do
we already
that?
did this one.
Oh,
Okay, that was the first one.
That was the first
oh,
one.
oh, that's the first one. Okay, gotcha.
So maybe we should go to the icon bar.
The icon bar only takes you to the customer center.
Oh, okay. Well, what the heck?
You guys are going to laugh really hard.
um,
Anywhere on the list,
Mhm.
right click it.
Oh, wow.
And there you go, new customer. All right, let's go ahead and use that and build our new customer. So there's two ways to build it to enter a new customer. Well, technically there's three if you count the multi, if you want to use multi to enter in multiple customers at one time. I guess that could be a third way. But, you can enter in one at a time, but I'm just going to right click and click new customer.
Okay.
Okay. Anywhere on the customer list. It doesn't matter whether you're tapping on another person. You can, yeah.
Just right click it.
Yeah, just right click it anywhere on the screen. Now let's go ahead and look at your book and let's see who are we going to be entering in as far as our new customer. So setting up a new customer. So here, let's see what our information box is. Okay, here. We're going to be entering Mr./Mrs. So Dr. Tim S. Fang. Okay, so if you guys can help me read this so we can not have to switch back and forth. So we have a customer. Does he have a company name?
no.
All right, so Dr. Tim K. S. Fang.
Oh, it's F-E-N-G.
Yes, Tim Fang. Okay. What else? Does he have a job title?
Yeah, he's the owner.
Owner of what?
Oh, well, he's a doctor. It's probably his office or his,
Okay.
yeah.
What's his main phone number? Does he have one?
Yes. It's 408-555-8298.
Perfect. Okay. Does he have a mobile or a work phone or a fax phone?
No.
Does he have a main email?
Yes.
Okay.
That's DRF
DRF at.
at DF period BIZ.
All right. And so I'm assuming his website is df.biz. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to do www.df.biz. Okay, good.
Yes.
What is his address?
300 North First Street, San Jose, California. And that's area code 95136.
All right, and I'm assuming this is going to be the same address for your shipping address.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so we copy it over. Boom. Okay. Same thing as filling out for a vendor, right? Same basic information. Even this section here is more or less the same, except this is going to be a little different. Now, instead of doing payment options for the vendors, now we're setting up payment options for this customer. Okay, so first thing it's going to ask is, do we have an account number for Mr. Tim Fang?
the account number? I don't see an account number. This number,
We just
You- I
setting
don't see
him
one.
up, so he's new.
Yeah,
We don't have
yeah, not yet.
to. But in step 8, it says enter 3546. So we're creating one now?
Yep, right here it says 3546. Yes.
Okay.
So his account number, oops, sorry. His account number is 3546. All right. Now, does he have a payment terms? Do we give him payment terms?
Just net
Oh.
30.
Yeah, well, it's got net, step 10 says net 30 from payment terms drop down.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. What about a credit limit? Do we give him a credit limit?
Says enter $8,000 in credit limit field and press tab.
Perfect. All right. Press tab. What's after that?
Okay. Then, QuickBooks will warn you if you record an invoice, to this customer when the balance due, exceeds the credit limit. Even though the QuickBook warns you, you'll still be able to record the invoice.
Okay. So, what is the preferred delivery method? This is to bill him.
Oh, to bill him.
I think it's by mail.
Yeah, because there's no.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Well, there is email, but.
Oh no, it's actually by email.
Oh, it is by email. Okay.
Yeah, so where I'm looking at is going to be the little window on page 36 instead of the actual thing. So this is where I'm squinting my eyes a little bit. So here is basically how it's supposed to look like when we're filling out the table.
Oh goodness, let me get my magnifying glass.
Okay.
Tiny bit better.
Okay, so we have to charge him as a commercial customer. I'm sorry for that. So commercial customer, right? So this is where we can get to charge our customers a different rate. Maybe we can say, hey, they're a wholesale customer, whatever it is. They are a different type of customer. But for in this case, they're just a regular commercial customer. They're just a regular customer of ours.
Oh, so that's just a regular, to call them commercial is
Yes.
just a regular, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, you can determine whatever person type of a customer they could be, as long as they make some kind of sense in regard to that. So this is where we are also looking into our preferred payment method. Okay. So in this case, this is where we can actually keep confidential information such as credit card information. So in this case, we said that it's a Visa credit card. Okay, and this is where we get to hold the hold the credit card number. So instead of having to type it in every single time, we could just pull it up his file and it would automatically charge his credit card. So I think it's 1234 -1234 -1234 -1234.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Expiration date is
1/2020.
But
Jan-
it doesn't have the dashes in it.
Yeah, it doesn't.
the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well. Okay. Cool. So that's his credit card number. Okay. And then what is the name on the card?
Tim S. Fang.
Tim S. Fang automatically fills it in for you. All right. And his address automatically fills in for you. Zip code automatically fills in for you. Okay. And then lastly, here, online payment options. Do we have an online payment options?
The credit card, right?
Let's see. It does not say I have to select the credit card. As far as what I can see on my page, I don't see it being toggled here. But I'm gonna leave it alone because, again, this is just asking, well, if you have him under online, is it something that we can charge him for if it's an online purchase? Okay. So in this case, we can leave that part alone. And we're going to go ahead and continue with the next section. Now it's going to be asking for sales tax payable. Now, question for you. The security code on the back of the credit card. Is any business allowed to keep that kind of information?
I don't see why they would. No, I think that's something they have to ask you for, isn't it?
Correct. Because ultimately, if anyone has their hands on this file, right? That's why we need to lock it up. They can hack everybody's information. Now, with that security code, that's going to authorize that that person is the user for that credit card.
Right.
Okay? So that's why no, we cannot keep that piece of information. But we can keep his billing address and his credit card number. But ultimately, the next thing that's going to happen is you need to have your security code in order to validate that transaction. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to be looking is going to be the sales tax settings. Okay? Because he is considered San Jose, we need to tax him. And is there a certain tax? Now, because if we pull up our information here, it gives us a list of what the tax is available to us. All right? Because he's going to be a customer of ours, right? We do have the flexibility to be able to charge him for service, right? Because we ultimately sell products and we sell services. But in this case, we're just going to act like he wants to purchase things from us. So we're going to say, you know what? He's going to get charged with regular tax. Okay? And we want to make sure that it's not out of state because it's going to be in state. But which county does he belong to? Does he belong to Santa Clara or does he belong to Costa Casa?
Did it indicate that?
Yes, it does. He's being charged at Santa Clara.
Oh, okay, Santa Clara.
Yeah. So again, I am looking at the picture on page 38.
Okay,
So see here now, it says we're here tax in Santa Clara.
Santa Clara, right.
Okay. Now I'm going to scroll down to find my next picture, which is going to be on page 38, which allows me to answer these questions here. Okay. So now that I've completed this section right here, do I have a resale number? No, it's okay. We can leave that one blank. Next is going to be additional information. Okay, so this is where we're going to be able to fill in extra pieces of information that we want to ask the customer or other things. Now, the first thing it's going to ask you is what kind of customer type is this person?
Looks, he's a doctor. Would this be an individual?
What does the book say?
Well, we're charging him commercial, so it's gotta be
Oh,
business,
yeah.
right?
Yes, business.
Yeah, you're right.
Correct. Business is correct here.
Yeah,
So-
I'm looking at it now.
Business, all right? What about the rep? Who is this person's rep?
At MM.
MM? I have no idea who that is. Oh, maybe it's Mike Mazowski. Yep, Mike Mazowski right here. MM. Okay, so that means Mike Mazowski, this is his client.
Okay.
All right, and what county does he belong in?
Santa Clara.
Santa Clara.
Santa Clara. Oopsies, Clara. All right. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I think I spelled that wrong.
Looks like it's C-A-R-A.
R.A. Clara. All right. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do some more custom fields. Let me ask you this question now. This is also review. How many total custom fields can I have in general?
This is for a person.
Okay, I did not ask for a person. I asked for in general. What's my total maximum custom fields I can have in general?
It's either 5, 7, or 15.
All right, which number is it?
Let's say 15.
Perfect. That's exactly correct. You can only have a total of 15. Now, out of those 15, how much can each person have? So that means a customer, a vendor, an employee. No.
7.
Yes. You need to know this is very important because especially when we're dealing with our customers and our vendors, you can only have the maximum of 7 and you have to divide it between the 15 that's available to you. So in this case, I want to make sure I have my spouse's name on here. I want to know when I talk to my customers, hey, how is your wife? Right? I also, let's see, what else do I want to know about my customer? I want to know what kind of hobbies you have. All right. Oopsies. I want that for all 3. I want that for my customers, my vendors, and my employees. All right. And I'm going to click OK. That's good enough for now. And it's going to give you this pop-up message. Just say yes. And then boom, I have it here. Now, if Tim has a wife, I'm going to name her Tina. Tim and Tina. Tina Fang, Tim Fang. Okay? And then what kind of hobby does he like to do? Since he's a doctor, I'm going to say he's a dental doctor. So he likes teeth. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Let's think about another hobby. Let's say, what was that, Lee?
I said, ooh.
He likes to play tennis.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, he likes to play tennis. Tennis is his hobby. Good. Thank you. All right. And then last thing here is going to be your customer job. Now, this is when we are going to enter in every time we're making a purchase, right? So what the customer job does is it associates either a vendor. So every time this person orders something, a specific person is going to take over and be able to serve this person, right? So that's what the vendor does. However, when we go move into chapter 9, we're gonna be looking at it in other aspects. Maybe you're purchasing an item for this person. Like, so example, Bob Mason, right? He wants a specific camera. We can get him the camera by ordering it from our vendor, but it's going to be towards Mr. Bob Mason. So that's one thing I can do here. Another thing is, again, I can use Bob Mason again, and let's say he wants to have a specific person take the photography. And that's where I associate, okay, Mike Mazowski, right? He's my sales representative, but he's also my photographer. So he's going to be Bob Mason's job. And how I pay him, well, it depends what he does. Is he based on commissions? Is he an hourly wage? Is he based on how many jobs he completes? I don't know. We'll figure that out when we move into our employees. Okay, but that is exactly what this section is for. It's so then every time this person's name pops up, it will automatically associate, well, maybe this person has a job, or it's like it's meant for just Mike, right? Whatever. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm going to teach this in chapter 9, so I'm gonna ignore this portion, and I'm gonna go ahead and click OK. I should get a noise somewhere that says I have him in here, and here he is, Tim Fang.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Any questions on adding a customer? It's the same exact steps as adding a vendor. No?
No.
No, not right now.
Okay. So then, all right. So the next section here is we're going to be recording our sales. Okay. So again, I spoke with you about there are 2 types of sales that we can actually have. One of them is a sales receipt, and the other one is an invoice. Okay. The difference, and I'm gonna keep emphasizing this. The difference between a sales receipt and an invoice is, one is the sales receipt occurs when the customer pays you at the time of the transaction. At the time of sale, they paid you. Okay? An invoice is going to be a customer purchasing your items, but they are going to owe you the item. So that's why you need to send out a bill, or you need to send an invoice out. Okay? All right. So that's the main difference. One is at the time of sale, and the other one is after the sale. Okay? So first I'm going to introduce you to what the first one is, which is going to be sales receipts. So again, I am going to create a sale, and it's going to be, okay, so we're going to enter Perez Jerry, and let's see, we're going to quick add him, and let's see what his sales receipts entails. What are we selling to Perez Jerry? Okay, let's scroll down. Well, he's from San Jose class, okay, but what are we selling to him? Let's keep looking through our book. So here we recognize that he's going to pay via credit card. And we're selling him an outdoors photo session, and we are also selling him a premium photo package. Okay, let's see how many.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So we got 3 of them and then 2 of them. All right. One's a service, one is actually a taxable item. So let's go ahead and create this sales receipt. So this is what he's going to pay immediately. Now, don't confuse the difference. There's the difference between. Don't confuse when you're receiving a cash or a credit card transaction, because what does the credit card do? It pays you right then and there, correct?
Right.
It's the customer's responsibility to pay back the credit card, not us.
Right. Right.
Okay, so let's go ahead and explore the options on the different ways you can enter in a sales receipt. Okay, so here's the first one right here on the home page. Okay, create sales receipt. That's one way. What are the other ways you can create a sales receipt?
Let's see. Let's sell. Well, it's there on the home page.
What is that? Accept credit cards in the middle of nowhere.
Accept credit
Yeah, right
cards.
next to it, it has. It's not like
Yeah, right
connected
there.
to anything.
This is just a, so you know how we could do cash basis and accrual basis? This is essentially the same thing. If you click accept credit card, it will automatically um, pull up this little thingy. So once you do that, right, what is the one thing that you need to know if you are actually owning a system that charges credit cards? What do you know about that?
What do you,
No, I don't understand.
yeah, I don't understand.
Okay,
What-
as a business standpoint, okay, as a business standpoint, right? If you own a credit card system, meaning you own the credit card swiper, right?
Right.
The merchant services?
Yes, good job, good job. That's where you have to be able to go in there and collect all that.
Oh, okay, that's a different thing.
Yes, it's a different. Yes, yes. Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
so another way to create sales receipt,
Mhm.
okay, we just did the homepage, right?
Homepage is done. Uh huh.
Right.
Okay, then is it still on, is it still from the homepage?
There is one more way to get to it through the homepage.
Receive payments?
Nope, not receive payments because you need to print out a receipt in order to receive the payment. And yes, so I'll give you a general hint.
Okay.
You can find most of the rest of the ways by going to the customer center.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because it seems like you can do so much there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so customers right there.
Uh huh. That's just getting to the customer center. We get to the icon bar, like you said,
Uh-huh.
and the menu bar.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where else can you see when you click the customers on the menu bar?
It says, create, wait a minute. Oh my gosh, I gotta really, it's hard for me to see.
Oh, receive payments.
Not receive payments. That's not what we're looking for.
Create receipt somewhere.
Okay, so the first one says create
Oh, there,
invoice.
yeah, enter
And
sales receipt.
yes. Okay, good. Right? So that's so far 5 ways, right? One is on the home page, 2 is on the menu bar, and then one way is going through the customer center through their home page. The other one is the customer center through the icon bar, and the other one is customer center through the menu bar. Okay, so I'm going to go to the customer center. Now let's explore those extra 3 ways. Now, what happens when I'm in the customer center? How do I create a sales receipt?
Would that go under new transactions?
New transactions. What's under there?
Okay. New transactions.
Sales
Sales receipt.
receipts.
Good. There you go. That's one way.
Okay.
There are 2 more ways in the customer customer center.
All right. Can you go into the customer bar?
Customer bar. What customer?
I mean, the customer list. I mean, pick the customer. Go into the actual customer.
Yeah. If I were to click Maria Cruz, what can I
Yeah.
do with her?
Okay. Send notes. Maybe not.
You're on the right direction.
Let's see. Notes. transactions.
Manage transactions.
Sales receipts.
All right, good.
There we go.
Now one more.
Okay. Let's see.
All right.
Okay, we've gone into transactions, we've gone into the customer's file. Okay, not sure.
You can right click the customer.
Oh, there we go again.
Yeah, right click.
Right click.
Receive payments.
Not receive payments. I'm looking for it right now. It's going to be create right here. Enter sales receipt.
Oh,
Enter sales
enter
receipts.
sales receipts.
Oh, there's that right click again.
So we right click on the customer.
Uh-huh. All right. Now the last thing I want to explore is going to be our income tracker. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the income tracker through my customer center. So here I'm going to look. So this is the income tracker, right? It allows you to collect all the information again when it deals with your actual customers, right? It tallies up your total sales. It tallies up how much your total accounts receivables are, and it tallies up how much money you actually got paid. So this is very, 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 very important to have this income tracker. Now, if I were to go to manage transactions at the income tracker, what do you see?
Sales receipts.
Sales receipts. You can
Sales receipts.
Yep, you can enter a sales receipt through the income tracker.
Oh, okay.
That's another way.
Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and enter it through the income tracker. And I'm going to get this nice little form right here. Alright.
Sales receipts, okay.
Right. And we want to enter in Perez, comma, Jerry. Right? And then let me make sure I typed it in right. Perez, comma, Jerry. If I go ahead and press enter or tab, right, it's going to ask me, well, hey, we never recognized this guy before. So let's go ahead and add him as a quick add. All right. And because we're doing a sales receipt, it automatically associated that this person is a customer. Okay. So we have the class is San Jose. All right. We'll talk about that later. So here he used a check he wrote us a check. Okay, but let's go ahead and itemize what he actually purchased from us. So he purchased an outdoor Photoshop, an outdoor photo session. Okay, here we automatically had that in because this is a pre-made item. Okay, so outdoor photo session, right? And I know for sure that we had 3 hours worth of photo session. Next thing that we bought here was a premium photo package, right? And we ordered, I believe, one of those. Okay, and that it can be taxed because one of them's a service and one of them is an actual product that we sell. Okay, so here we have all this information here. Now, do you want to write a message to your customer? Yes, I do, and I want to say thank you for your business. Okay, and because we already have that preset thing, which you can toggle up in your forms. In my memo, I'm gonna go ahead and say 3 hours photo session and photo package. So your memo is just so that you can kind of recognize what happened here. All right? And because he's going to get taxed regularly, now we need to calculate, what kind of tax is he getting taxed at? And in this case, it's going to be for Santa Clara because that is where San Jose is. So here we see that it is 8.25%, which is a pretty decent percentage, right? That's normal. And here it is for our grand total of $377.01. Now let's match that with our form here. Okay, so this one's different. This one, because we had 2 packages. Okay, so now I'm going to make that adjustment here because I thought it was only 1. He actually bought 2 of them. All right. And if I click anywhere else, it will recalculate it for me. So now it is $469.03, which is, does it match our book? Yes, it does. Okay. So now we got to look here. When did he do it? And what check did he send us? And what invoice are we going to make a note for? So in this case, we had this photo session on January 27th. Okay, we can go back that far in time. Our invoice is going to be 2019 1. And then our check number is for $34.59, that looks like. Excuse me. So here, because we indicated that it was a check, right? If we use cash, right? Cash is just gonna look just like this, right? The only difference is there's no reference point or there's no check number, okay? But if we have a check, then we can fill in the check number here for $34.90. Was it 95 or 59?
Wait a minute, let me look at that here.
I lost it. I just saw the word 3459.
34.59. Okay. Now again, so the one thing that we can't do is we can't go that far into the past. Okay, we can't go like 2 years in the past because this is a 2018 thing. So we're just gonna keep it relevant and say it was for this year, for January 27th, okay, of this year. And my invoice number or reference number is going to be 2021. So this is my first sales I had as of the year of 2020. Okay, I'm going to double check that everything is accurate, and I'm going to click save and close. Not save and new. Save and new is going to save it and prop up a brand new sales receipt. I don't want that. I want to just be done with this transaction. And then here it says we've changed Perez chair. Okay, his
Class, yeah.
okay, his class is not San Jose.
Yeah, it says you've changed Perez's class and tax item.
Oh yes, because we are quick adding him. You want to go ahead and press yes because he doesn't have a profile. Okay, so here by entering that in, I automatically add. Let me see where he's at. He doesn't show up here. That's so weird because we just did a sales receipt.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Bob Mason, Miranda, Bob, Maria. Okay, well, let me see if I have to refresh this. Okay, so we can close this out. And let me see if I have to refresh it. So income tracker. Okay. Ooh, that's not it. Okay. Oops, I got rid of my income tracker. Okay, so here, my income tracker.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't see him out there either.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, well, let me see if I can find him. So, in case you need to find him, right? Where can you find him?
In the customer center.
In the customer center. Yes, his name is Perez Jerry. Jerry Perez. There he is.
Yeah.
And balance. Look, he's got a sales receipt for this date, and here it is. So it is there. I guess I just don't know why it's not showing up in the receivables. Maybe because it's a sales receipt, okay? He already paid off his for whatever. Those things are just to look at our accounts receivable, right? The people that we owe is primarily Maria Cruz and Bob Mason. Okay? So that's how you enter a sales receipt. Now, again, let's go ahead and follow this trail of transactions here. So, this is my book. Okay, let's follow my trail of transactions here. So if I were to exit my customer center, exit this. Okay, so let's go to my home page, which I just closed, right? What happens after I've entered in my sales receipt?
Oh, you want to deposit it.
Yeah, we have what's called undeposited funds. And right here, he's got the check waiting for us to deposit.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and this
Oh, nice.
And this is exactly why I tell you this all the time, especially when we're dealing with our coffee cafe, right? Money does not go into the bank magically. You need to go physically to the bank and deposit it.
That's right.
So this right here is a theoretical, okay? What I meant is that my theoretical is we have the check, it's been received, now we need to actually physically go to the bank, deposit it, and then come back and record it in our QuickBooks so then you know that you're not going to forget.
Right.
Okay, so that means our bank right now is understated. It doesn't have the amount because it's being collected. It's in this pile of undeposited funds. Now what we're going to do is we're going to keep that separate and wait till the end because we're going to do a couple more transactions and we're going to see what happens when I need to do all of that make the transactions cleared out.
Okay.
Okay, so that is what a sales receipt does, okay? So again, it's at the time of service or at the time that the person paid is when you create a sales receipt.
Okay.
All right? And we talked about the undeposited funds briefly, but we'll talk about it when we do our other transactions, okay? Because there is a difference on how you need to deposit the money. And here it explains. If you read, then you should know that you need to separate your cash and your check, and you need to separate your credit card transactions.
Right.
Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and finish this up. So here is this another one? No, Perez Jerry. Okay, so we're done with Perez Jerry. All right. Now the next thing is creating an invoice. Okay, so again, when you have an accounts receivable, you definitely want to use an invoice because that is how you send out your bills. That is how you keep track of your accounts receivable because that's what happens. When you create an invoice, it automatically associates it with an accounts receivable.
Right.
Okay, so in this case, we're going to go ahead and let's see, from our customer center, select Bob Mason. So we're going to have him owe us more money. Great. So we're going to do it for figure 222. All right. Now, I'm going to ask you, for every way that you solved for entering a sales receipt, how many ways can you enter in an invoice or create an invoice?
Probably as many.
Yes, the same.
Okay. Yeah, because it's just that it's money. I mean, it's things that you've done, and one is for the sales, and the other is for people that owe you.
Exactly.
Getting.
So for every single way that you can enter in a sales receipt, you can also enter in an invoice. So in this case, I'm going to go to my customer center, just like it says. I'm going to select Mr. Bob Mason. And I'm going to go ahead and go to manage transaction. And I'm going to go ahead and enter in an invoice.
Okay.
All right. Once I do that, it's going to, okay, well, first it's going to open up. All right, it's going to tell me what's new about this, and I don't care. So once I've validated that Bob Mason is my client, the one thing I'm going to do is never press enter. Always press tab. And when I press tab, all my information had filled in automatically.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I couldn't make out. You said always press what?
Tab.
Oh,
Tab.
tab. Okay, gotcha.
Yes. Excel, enter is your best friend. In QuickBooks, tab is your best friend.
Oh, okay.
Now you can actually change the settings so then you can have enter as a way to switch from one box to another and not validate a transaction. But in this case, right now, because I didn't change the settings, if I press enter, it's going to enter the transaction into and validate it. In this case, I'm not even done with my form yet, so I don't want to validate my form yet. Okay? So in this case, what is my class for Mr. Bob Mason? Is he a Walnut Creek guy?
Oh, Bob Mason.
Let's see, where is he from?
Now, let me get my magnifying glass. See if
Oh,
he's from,
No, San Jose.
he's from San Jose?
Yes, just click in the class field, enter class field, click this will quick fill the field with the full name San Jose.
Perfect. Okay, so here it is. So if I type in San Jose, there he is, San Jose. All right. Now, what did Mr. Bob Mason purchase from us? What did he ask us to do? Oh, the first one's quantity. What did he ask us to do?
get it from us. Okay, let's see.
Oh my dear Lord. That is super faint.
There's two invoices. Can't we click on the invoice and see what it is?
We have to create the invoice first.
Oh, I thought there were two already in there.
Oh no, we're creating a second invoice. We're creating a new invoice. Okay? So I am on page 48.
Oh, 48. I'm on 40, oh, 46. Okay.
So what am I entering in?
Indoor studio session,
Yes.
standard package of photography from session.
Okay, and I need one of each. And yes, because I have these already preset in here. So in this case, my format's a little different. I have the quantity first, which makes no real big deal. My item is an indoor soap photo session, okay? And my second one is, what did you say? It was a premium package?
Yeah. Premium.
Standard.
Standard.
No,
Standard.
standard.
Oh, it's a standard package this time, okay? So by doing that, it will fill in all my stuff in there automatically. Again, it will associate that some are certain taxes and some aren't. They already associated that it's going to charge me for my San Jose location. Now here with my invoice, because I've already preset Mr. Bob Mason, I'm going to give him a 2% discount if he pays within 10 days. If not, he needs to pay for the full amount on the 30th, okay? Is there Is there a PO number? Is there a purchase order number associated with this?
Let's see. I don't see a PO number.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't see a PO number.
That's okay. I was just asking if there is one.
Oh,
All right.
okay. Mhm.
Now we notice that we need to change the date because it's not on the 27th anymore. It's on the 28th. And this one says it's supposed to be for 2019-106. Is that correct?
Yes. That's
All right, but I'm going to make a change because we're no longer in 2019. We're in 2020. So 2020-106.
right.
All right. And then now I'm going to make sure I write my note to my customer. Thank you for your business. Okay. And then my memo here is going to be indoor photo session and a standard package. Okay. I'm going to make sure that the tax is correct as well. Are we charging it at Santa Clara?
I thought it was
Yeah.
San Jose.
San Jose and Santa Clara, they're kind of in the same.
Oh, the same region.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they've got Santa Clara. Yeah.
Yes, perfect. So everything should look, and he owes us another $164.54. So can we validate that? 100.
54.
Yep, perfect. Good. So now that we have this, so the one thing that we're going to do is when we indicate this, right? If we're indicating that we shipped it and we purchased it on here, what's going to happen is that it's going to flag us when his bill is overdue. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Yep. That's what's cool about it. But we won't be able to look at it until we go into our thing. So let's go ahead and click Save and Close.
Okay.
All right. Now that we're looking at Bob Mason's transactions here, right? We have 3 overdue invoices. One in 2019 and then here. So let's go ahead and check over the one in 2019-104. If you notice it, it's in red right here, past due. Yes, he owes us quite some money. Okay. Yes, and the great thing about QuickBooks is you can be able to create your own separate charges because he paid late.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so again, in order to look at an invoice, you go to the customer center and you could just double click and it will open up the invoice for you.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so this one's past due, and what do you know, because we are in the January of 2018, this was also past due. That's because we're just following what the book says. So these are all past due. Now, if we made it relevant, it would look a lot different. It wouldn't be past due. Okay?
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah, because
Money for a while.
yeah, and this is really funny because when David was in this class, he was actually, they were doing it at the same time saying, oh, well, Mr. Bob Mason, they just purchased something in January. Now, he was in my class in February. So he was able to see a non-past due system. But in this case, we're following what the book says. And it says in January, okay, I'll give it to you. Let's do it January. So we know this is just a fictitious, thing. We're just following the book. All right, so let's go ahead and see what is asked next. Okay, so now it's going to be adding, calculating items to an invoice. All right, I'm not quite sure what that means, but I'm going to go ahead and skip it just because I think this is just adding extra things that need to be placed in there. So for example, this one, wants to do a 10% discount, right? So in order to apply a 10% discount, let's say you offer it because you have a deal, right? So in this case, we need to go to Anderson Wedding. So let's go ahead and look at that specific one. Okay, so let me exit out of this one and go to my customer center and go to Anderson Wedding. Anderson Wedding, right here. Now there's two of them. Let's just go do Kumar and Satid because that's the only thing that they owe us right now. And let's go into the invoice. Now again, let's say you do have a store-wide sale. If for in fact, I'm going to show you this without the subtotal because the you'll see what I mean, okay? If I were to do a 10% discount, right? Let's say you just had a deal or you had a store-wide sale, whatever it is, right? You offer this sale, limited time only. And you say, you make your purchase now, I'll give you a 10% discount. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and write discount 10%. And if I do that, what do you notice?
Oh, money changes.
Yes, but what do you notice more? Let's look at this discount. It's 10%, right? But why is my 10% only for $55 and not for the whole bill of $243?
Yeah, good point. Indoor session, standard package.
Okay.
Good question.
So this is exactly why I'm going to explain to you. So if you just put a line item, if you're doing a discounted amount, what's going to happen is because of this discount, it's only going to associate the total from above, the line above it.
Previous line.
Yes.
Yeah, I read that somewhere.
Yes. So in order to activate this 10% discount, we're going to need to create a subtotal, right? And we actually have that subtotal line item already created. And what the subtotal does is it actually just adds up the total here. So here we have the total of $245, right? Now we can
Discount right below it.
exactly. So now we can apply the 10% discount and it says it's going to be for $24.50. So therefore our new bill is going to readjust to that point. Okay, so that's just adding calculations into the
Okay, that's interesting.
invoice.
So it's only going to calculate from the line previous to that.
If you use your discount without the subtotal. Okay? If you only have one item, then you could just go ahead and you don't need to create a subtotal. You just go ahead and take the discount.
Right.
But if you have multiple items and you're trying and you're trying to apply the discount on all the items, then that's what you do. Now, if you've ever heard of the term or a promotion saying you can only take a discount off of this specific item, then that's where this can come into play, where you're actually only discounting a specific item. So in this case, it only takes it from the amount from the line above. Okay?
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
All right. Let me see what's next. So that's just having calculated items in there as far as that. No, we don't need that. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick bathroom break right now. So let's go ahead and call it a break right now.